Hello everybody, this is Master GIJOE, another review of the vintage GIJOE figures. Today look at the 1986 Lifeline. Well, just like the Optimus Prime once said, there is a thin line between being a hero or a memory.
Save the war stories, hotshot. Just remember, there's a thin line between being a hero and being a memory.
And I believe that thin line is Lifeline, because no one can ever want a war but dying for your country. You want it, but making other poor guy dying for his country. That is George Patton once said. So Lifeline is very important in the battlefield, because if you're injured, he can help you out. And also there are two other medics in the GIJOE world. One is Doc from 1983, and we mentioned about him last episode, and he was killed in the Marvel Comics issue 109 by the Soul Viper. And also later there is another medic, and his name is Stretcher in the year 1990. In this figure Lifeline, he is an extreme pacifist, which means he not only don't want to use a gun, and he don't want to touch a gun himself.
Daddy has hunting rifles here.
I won't use violence, Bree, but I will use my brains.
So it is kind of weird for a figure that is a pacifist with a gun equipped in his toy in the year 1986. And the Lifeline actually reminds me of one movie. The movie's name is Hacksaw Ridge, and the movie was on screen 2016. And the movie was based on a real piece of story, and it is about a medic who refused to bear arms in the battlefield. But eventually, he rescued 75 soldiers, not only on the American side, but also on the Japanese side during the Battle of Okinawa. And that is also during the World War II.
I'm gonna get you home.
And that guy, when he was a child, he almost killed his brother one time. And he prayed. And he realized there is one sentence in the Bible. He said, "You shall not murder." And so he decided to not use any arms. And he refused to bear arms in the battlefield. And instead, he wanted to be a medic to rescue soldiers. And after the World War II, and that DOS was awarded by the president for the Congress Medal of Honor. That is a real piece of story. And also our Lifeline, I believe this character is based on that real person. So let's look at his file card first to get information about this guy. Okay, so here's a file card, and his codename is Lifeline. He's a rescue trooper. His file name is Steen Edwin, and his primary military specialty is medic. And his birthplace, Seattle, Washington. And Lifeline was a paramedic with the Seattle Fire Department for 5 years before he discovered that EMS, that is Emergency Medical Service personnel who were disabled while giving aid off duty, were not eligible for pensions. In his mind, rescue personnel were never off duty. He decided to make his status permanent by enlisting in the army as a corpsman. And elite units always take care of their own. The GIJOEs are no exception. The troops have to know that if something really heavy comes down on them and they are in no condition to walk out of the mess, somebody is going to have the heart to wade in and extricate them. That somebody is Lifeline. Alright, so here look at this figure. First look at his brand name. And behind him is the place Hong Kong, made in Hong Kong. And also in the year 1986. And actually there are 5 versions of this figure. The first is 1986 on a Hasbro toy line. And the second is in 1988. That is the tiger stripe camouflage. And also in the year 1991, and there is Rice Krispies. And they offered with a mail-in version of this figure. And actually that figure is considered to be a variation because there are some difference between them. And number one is accessory. There is no gun and no this mask here. And also the leg is completely different. Actually, they are using the frostbite leg. So the company asked the Hasbro to make some changes, like this gun and this dagger and this pouch and this flashlight are removed. And they're just using the frostbite leg. That is the 1991 version. And also in the year 1992, there's a Chinese version that is exactly the same with the toy in 1986. And also there is an Indian Fun School version. That is altogether 5 versions there. So now let's look at accessories. First is this gun. Because he's an extreme pacifist, so he never used this gun or never touched this gun. And this gun is a 9mm Browning pistol. And also the second accessory is a backpack. It's called a relay backpack. And if somebody is injured on the battlefield, he will know from this backpack. And it's pretty detailed backpack. It's more like a science fiction backpack. And then the next accessory is this mask. It's like a soft rubbery texture. And also, I believe the ripcord also have one of these masks. Okay, the next accessory is this EMS kit. And it's very detailed. It can open from here. There's a latch. And inside of there is an oxygen tank. Then there is some equipment for him to check the other people's physical condition. It is pretty detailed. A briefcase here. So let's close it. And also there is a hole here. And you can connect this mask to this hole because there is an oxygen tank inside of there. And here you can lock in this mask like this. It's a nice storage. Okay, now let's look at this figure here. So first, look at his pair of sunglasses. The color is green. Also, the dog in the 1983, and his pair of sunglasses also green. So why green? And then I checked because the green and the red is the color blood. Green and red makes the color yellow, and yellow is more visible in the battlefield. And also, if he's need to be uncomfortable with the blood color, green makes it better. So that's why the medic, the color of the sunglasses is green. Look at his patch on his chest here, and also on his briefcase here. And actually, the dog and his patch is like a cross, the classic red cross. And our Lifeline and later version Stretcher, they have this new patch. Just like the fire department, the different department have different patches. And I believe the medic, they also use these different patches. And also here's some pouches. Because he's a medic, he used to have some bandage, some little scissors, some gadget stored in these little pouches. And also here's a flashlight. That maybe they're like a night mission, so you need to use it. And also there's a big pouch here. You can put a lot of gadget inside of here. And this is another pistol. I don't believe he used it. And here's a stagger. Stagger is necessary because it's a medic. You need to cut open the jacket. Articulation, because this is a 1986 figure, so his head can go back and front and go from left to right. And you can rotate his arm here. And also it's a swivel arm. So his little arm can be swiveled. And you can also twist his torso here. His leg can lift up and it can bend down. So let's put on his accessories. First is his backpack. And then is his little pistol, because never users let him to hold it. And then is this briefcase. Take it. Okay, so this is the figure from the 1986, and his name is Lifeline. And if you like today's video, please press like, subscribe, and leave some comments here, because your like and your comment really my motivation to make more of these figures in the future. Thank you so much. See you next time.